back for the 2021 SX preview show, and yeah, we're just ready to talk about everything that's coming up. We're 11 days away from the start of the season.
I remember when motocross finished, it was like, oh God, until we start again. It felt like a long time, but we're here. So I'm happy to be back with you, talking about something we're very passionate about, and super happy that finally it's here. I feel that it's already here. So Happy New Year's to everybody that's watching, and we hope that you tune in throughout the season. We're going to be we got our feet wet with the last motocross season, and now I guess we know what we're getting into, and I'm sure we're going to do better than last year in our case.
For sure, for sure. And I'm pumped, because I saw that, when the schedule got released on December 15th, there were a lot of uncertainties on how many of the rounds were going to be raced, but then they released the whole 17 rounds, and I was pumped to see that two of the 17 races are in Orlando, so that's going to be pretty cool, because I'm thinking of going, so I'm going to have the two races in Orlando and then the Daytona race, which is in March, so really cool. I'm pumped up, but like I said, 11 days away from the start. It's gonna be here soon, man.
Yeah, and it's looking great. I think after so many, or not so many, but after such felt shutdowns like
Yeah,
JGR going away and Geico going away, um, I feel it's not washing away, but the happiness is starting to kick in, because I was a little sad. I was a little, I was not knowing what was going to happen. And yeah, about the schedule, I am happy too, because that means that we might be able to make it to a couple of races live. In my case, it's a big deal because I don't live in the States. So, and
yeah,
then I'm sure there's a lot of fans that watch around the world that are not necessarily in the States. So, especially with COVID now, you don't know. You might live in the States, and then you think you're going to make it to your hometown, and for some reason you have to leave, but then you can't come back. So it's not a guaranteed thing. So yeah, man, it's great that you can have. It's pretty much you can say you have three home races, if you will, kind of.
I yeah. I mean, Daytona is about an hour or so away from here, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. But yeah, like you said, Happy New Year to everyone that's watching. We're gonna try, our best to keep the shows coming after every round. We wanna be consistent and push these videos out as much as we can. And yeah, let's talk about the schedule, because I'm looking at it right here, and the first one, obviously, which is starts in January 16th in Houston. The first three rounds are going to be there. What do you think of? I think that obviously this transition from how they finished the season last year in Salt Lake City, and they did those Saturday, Tuesday races, and then again on
Oh,
Saturday.
remember it was Saturday, Wednesday in Salt Lake.
Yeah, yes, and I think that they adopted some of those ideas because of
Yeah.
COVID. Obviously, it creates, like, that consistency with the riders too, and they make it just some adjustments to the track. But the first three rounds, like I said, in Houston, and the first race Saturday, then Tuesday, and then Saturday again.
I think
And
I think it's intense, man. After a
yeah,
while, sorry, I'm trying to. There's something bugging me on the screen. Okay, I'm good. I think it's intense, man. I would have liked to start Saturday, and then make a Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. But I
yeah,
understand that scheduling, the cities, not every state has the same regulations and
yeah,
stuff. So it's cool for us
yeah,
fans, but I want to be very honest with you about this. I don't know how
hmm
much of a good thing that will be for the riders' performance, because after no season, then we come in and have three races in 7 days or 8 days, dude. That's quite, that's quite a ride. So We'll see how it goes, and even when this is week to week basis, I believe we can still see different winners in every Houston race, but especially now that we have a Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday start of the season, I I don't think, I'm telling you, we will have three different winners. There's not going to be a rider that's going to win all three rounds. That's what I think, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And there's a lot of changes, due to the pandemic, positive, negative. Negative, the fans, we don't know how many it's going to be the capacity, but there's going to be some fans. But other changes too to the actual, viewing experience that is going to transition from the NBC Sports app, which I used to use
Oh
on the
yeah,
Gold, and now it's going to the Peacock app, which I think it's still going to be Peacock, and inside Peacock, you're going to be watching it through NBC. But
yep.
a lot of changes. You gotta, um, you gotta get informed and see how you're gonna see the races. But as far as like people outside the U.S., there's always the Supercross Pass Live. I think that is
Right.
still the same.
So two things on that. First, I actually I was I kind of did some investigation job
Yeah.
before we actually started the show. So how it's going to work is exactly how you said. So before you would access, I think NBC Gold or yeah app. Was there
Uh
an
huh.
app for that? I think.
Yeah.
And in the app you would watch the races. I'm talking about U.S. based fans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's in your case. Now, and the only difference is you're going to do exactly the same thing on Peacock instead of the NBC app, and it's cheaper. So in your case is better. In my case, it won't change. The same Supercross and Motocross Pass, same everything is exactly the same. And for some users, like in my particular case, I have access to NBC live programming TV from my house. So I would be watching just like any US based fan that does not purchase the Peacock subscription, which
Okay.
is just tuning into NBC Sports like we did before. We're going to be able to watch the heat races and the main event, not qualified,
Uh,
but the main, let's say the main event and everything that entitles, it's the same deal for us. So that's what it is. So in your case, it's just better, man. It's good news because it's just cheaper.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I actually just got the app the other day, and I started to see the prices, and I think it was 4.99 per month or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Is that HD?
transition,
You know,
what's that?
is that in HD?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because it
Um,
kills me now. I was watching one day. I remember one motocross. I was in MOV TV. I was watching it in standard. Oh man, it was a pain.
it was a pain. Yeah.
It was
No,
horrible.
so I saw this article from Supercrosslive .com that it came out on December 29th, which is the preseason power ranking. So let's start with the 250 and see
Ooh,
what you think and if we agree on how they rank these riders. So for the
nice.
250 SX, they put number one, Austin Forkner. Because remember, they're going to combine the power rankings both East and West. So
Yeah.
number one, they put Austin Forkner. Number two,
Yep.
Jet Lawrence.
Yep.
Number three, Justin Cooper.
Yep.
Four, Jeremy Martin.
Yep.
Five, RJ Hampshire.
That also.
Six, Cole Nichols. Seven, which in my
Yeah.
opinion kind of low, Christian Craig.
I think so. Yep.
Eight, Alex Martin. Eight, Michael Moseman. And 10, Joe Shimoda. Let's talk about those.
So so I would just flip Fortner for Martin.
Ooh,
So
okay.
putting it in my order, it would be number one, Jeremy Martin,
Okay.
Jet Lawrence, Justin Cooper, and then Austin
Wow.
Fortner.
And
That's
number
my
four.
order. Yes, and then I would choose Christian Craig over RJ Hampshire. So I would swap those two. I would put Christian Craig in the fifth position of the power rankings, and I would move down RJ Hampshire to the seventh place. Then the rest, I think it's pretty accurate.
Okay, mine would be I would leave Austin at number one. I would put number two, Justin Cooper. Number three, I would move down Jet Lawrence. Four, I would put
Mm-hmm.
Christian Craig. Five, Hampshire. Six, Jeremy Martin, because
Wow.
his results have been mixed the past couple of years, so that's why. Number
True.
seven, I would put Colt Nichols. Eight, Martin, and then I would leave the rest how it is. But yeah, that's
Uh,
how I. But I'm not gonna lie, that 250, whichever they put it, west or east, Jet Lawrence, wherever he falls, if it's with Fortner or Craig or Cooper, he's gonna battle for the title with those two.
Hey, question. When that second Martin that you mentioned in eighth or ninth place, I think, is that Alex?
Alex, yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Hey, what about Hunter? Is he not racing?
he is racing, but he's
Well,
not in
then
the.
it seems like everybody's forgetting about him. I don't see him here.
They're counting him out, so I guess because based on his results from SX, I mean, not looking
But
good,
hey,
but
but you think so? We know he's going to be racing, or is it confirmed? Because I don't know. But maybe you can get his a different you know input on this. I think he's racing under the HRC 10, right, with his brother.
They're the only two 250 riders which are racing factory Hondas with HRC Honda, which is Sexton, Roxon,
Right.
Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence. So
Hunter
yes,
Lawrence.
they're
Okay.
all the only four riders. So
Okay. So
yeah, and
here's the thing. Do
yeah,
you think, and this is an honest question here, because I'm a fan of the one that I am about to question. Do you think that Hunter Lawrence is not going to make it even to the top 10 of the power rankings, even putting Alex Martin with now the merge Manluck merge Rock River? I'm not even sure what the name is, but it's a privateer effort. So we're saying that Alex Martin privateer is beating Hunter Lawrence factory. Is that what we're saying here? It doesn't seem right to me.
I think that just these rankings are based like overall talent of both East West and East and
Oh,
West
that's
Coast.
true.
But I agree. I when the racing comes, I think that Hunter Lawrence can definitely improve this year because it's not that he's not been good. It's just he's been injured a lot.
He's been injured. And then
Yeah,
one thing, I think that in this season, this Supercross season, so there's always this thing where everybody says and everybody knows that when you're a privateer, it's super hard to compete against any guy on a factory 10. It's super
yeah,
hard. Resources are completely different in one side and the other. So the distance between those two, or it seems to me at least, that are getting bigger and bigger year after year, or that's what I think. Again, that's my perception. So I think this year is going to be a lot bigger than before, just because of the intensity of racing. I'm sorry, because you're racing a lot of races in a very short period of time. Parts are gonna, break. Motors are gonna be needed. A bunch of other stuff. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get it like on time, like right on time before races. Because there's so one thing is the money that they got, the budget, and a privateer, a very good privateer effort might have the money to purchase parts, but they're not the factory. Are they going to get it in time for the next race? I'm sure a factory tent will, but I'm not sure if a privateer will. So the thing is, I'm just trying to say here, it's very interesting what Monster uploaded, because I think there's a lot more variables into play this time around than any other, on top of the pandemic. which is outside of the sport because that's worldwide. So, and I think it's honorable mention because I think he did not do that bad in motocross. Is Carson Mumford?
Ooh, great
I think
mention. Not only that, you mentioned someone, but I just forgot too. Someone that got not renewed by Pro Circuit Kawasaki
Oh
and had to
yeah,
go. You know who I'm talking about? He won
yeah.
Daytona.
Yep.
He won Daytona 250. Garrett Marchbanks. I think that he's on a mission too. You know, he signed his deal for 250, and I think he's gonna be ready too. I like his Supercross style, and I think he's gonna do better too as well this year.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be interesting. The 250. It's just a little. I think once we start the first race, a lot of things are gonna clear up as to who's running what. Because I still think there's a quite good chunk of teams and riders that still don't, or maybe in the inside they already kind of know what they're running because we're 11 days away. But us fans, we don't necessarily know who's running what, and this is, that's interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited about 250 this year.
I'm super pumped about 250 as well.
In
Um,
fact, if we go to Orlando, like, well, I'm sure you're going, but if I can meet you in Orlando for the races, we're going to be able to watch one East, one West, which is great.
yeah, it's true because the East finishes their final round in Orlando, and then West gets it started there too as
Started,
well. You're
yep.
right.
I'm gonna love that,
Um,
man.
so we had our picks for, or we reorganized that power rankings, and since we don't know the final lineup for all the East riders and all the West riders, if you had to pick the top three title contenders of the 250 from that list
Overall,
overall, who would be your title contenders for
wow.
top three?
I'm gonna go. Jet is gonna be in the picture.
Yeah,
Fortner is gonna have to do everything in his power because it is his last year.
yeah.
Um, and Justin Cooper. Those are my three picks.
I'm gonna tell you because you know we've talked. I'm like a super big fan of Jet Lawrence style and Supercross, and this is gonna be his second year.
Yep.
But I'm gonna take him off right now
Oh,
on my
really?
top contenders. Yeah, I'm gonna put
Interesting.
Fortner, Cooper, and Craig as my title
Oh, I forgot
contenders.
Craig. You know what?
Uh,
I hate to say, but dude, I hated Craig. Not hated him. Like I don't know the guy, but oh God, he was so disappointing. And then,
but he turned it
dude,
on.
yeah, no, I know, and that's what I was saying. The thing is, when he started racing 450 and he filled in for Roxon, honestly, dude, as the season progressed, he was progressing, and I was like, hey, this dude can stick up front, you know. So
I
man,
mean, he was battling with Tomac, with
yeah,
at AC.
yes, he passed Tomac a lot,
Yeah,
like frequently. I don't know, I can't remember when he finished on top or not or whatever, but he was battling. I remember clearly at several races battling Tomac, battling Barsha. Dude, we're talking about top dogs there, and he was sticking up with them and passing them, and in the mix, and it was very interesting.
well, the I think one of the final races in Paula, I think Chase won one of the races,
Hmm.
and
And
then
he
he
was
finished
second,
second. Yeah,
right?
so that was his best finish ever
Ever,
career wise as a
ever,
450
yeah.
rider outdoors. So I mean, yeah, I'm pumped too. Like you said, it's not that I didn't like him. It's just that I think that when he was in Geico Honda, he had that year where I think he won the title or almost won the title in 250. Then he had a couple of injuries, and then he did off and on with 450. But I mean, last season outdoors, he progressed a lot. Like you could
But you know
tell, like
what? You know what I think it is, and this is just my perception. I think that he doesn't do well when he is the flagship guy. when he's the go-to guy and he's the one on the billboard. And I know Jeremy was coming back, and he was actually the one fighting for the title, and he ended up not running in that class. I know that. But when the season started, we nobody had Jeremy Martin fighting until the last race for the title. Everybody was thinking, who's the man in Geico? And everybody would answer Christian Craig. So every time he has that pressure and he has that like title that he's the guy, he doesn't do well. So when he's underdog, man, he's. I hope he can get used to that, because when you get to 450, everybody, we don't ride, we're not riders, but everybody says that the pressure in 450 class is a lot bigger. So I hope he can get used to it, because he did great. He progressed as the season went on, and honestly speaking, hey, dude, he did he podium at last in Paula? No, right? He
No, he
was
didn't podium. Hmm.
he was fourth, and I remember Tomac. Well, whatever. Who cares? It's motocross last year. Thing is, dude was just a point or two away from making podiums in 250 when dude was not even able to make it in the top 10 in 250s in Salt Lake. I was like,
That's
are you freaking kidding me? Who's supposed
that.
to put, whatever. So I was just too mad at Christian Craig to
Yeah.
make analysis on him when he was on Salt Lake, and then great surprise when he turned into motocross. So we'll see how he does. This is also his last year, I believe, in 250s. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. I think he has. I think he's gonna point out. I'm not sure, but he's on a he's on one of those Yamis, man. Those are rockets. Those 250. They say that they run like 350s, but yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up here for the 250 preview, and then we're gonna move into the next preview, which is gonna be for the 450. So
Great.
we'll come back and talk 450.